Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Welcome back to the channel. This is Wes, and before I start the review, I wanted to show off this absolutely metal Ron Garney Savage Sword of Conan #1 variant cover I ordered. As a rule, the only variant covers I buy are the DC Comics B cover because I much prefer them to their standard A covers. I was so impressed with issue 1 and Garney's interior art that when I saw artist Aaron Lopresti tweet his copy of the Garney variant, I checked with my shop and they actually still had a copy in stock. It arrived today and I couldn't be more pumped to have this absolutely sick cover. Now that I showed off my newest treasure, let's talk Marvel Comics Savage Sword of Conan #2. I reviewed issue 1 and was extremely impressed by the overall quality of the artwork and faithful adaptation of Robert E. Howard's classic character. Issue 1 set a very high standard for the series moving forward, and after reviewing Heroes in Crisis and Man-Eaters recently, this comic reader's palate was in desperate need of cleansing. And my goodness, issue 2 delivered just what I needed, and then some. The excellent displays of masculinity and adventure in Savage Sword of Conan hit my feel spots in all the right ways. I can't wait for my next fix from the perfect creative pairing of writer Gerry Duggan and artist Ron Garney. Marvel has admittedly started to right the ship the last 12 months or so, but it's still surprising that they're publishing a book this masculine in nature and not sandbagging it with incompetent creators or out-of-place social commentary. Both Duggan and Garney bring their A-game in the issue, but for my money, I think Garney might just be the star of the series. I honestly can't think of an artist whose visual style more encapsulates the rugged nature of the Hyborian Age hero than Garney. The cover contains a parental advisory warning, and I'll say the book earns it overall. This stunning piece depicting a tree made from decaying bodies, sacrificed to Koga-Thun, certainly isn't obscene, but is meant for an older audience. One of the best qualities of Conan as a character is being a man of action rather than blather, so it's imperative the artist can emote for the character. Once again, Garney does expert work conveying emotions through facial expression and allows the writer to present Conan in his best light. Garney's art is perfect for the series because he rarely creates anything soft. Every edge in his art feels like it's been forged from steel, which fits the setting and character perfectly. This depiction of Conan cutting the chains that bind him and companion Sudi utilizes the contrast of shadow and light in expert fashion. I also love the silhouette of the two as they walk into the distance. The weathering effects placed on the lower half of the characters breathe life into the image, and I can imagine seeing this scene closing the first act of a feature-length film adaptation. Ron Garney does a good job throughout the issue, varying his page layouts to keep them from being repetitive. He has a good sense when to fill his scenes with fine details and where negative space will enhance his story. He mostly uses splash pages and panel work throughout the book, but in this scene he lays it out with a little extra flavor. I like it when an artist takes calculated risk, and I can honestly say I think all of Garney's risks paid off in this issue. The artwork in this issue is impeccable, and I rate it a 5 out of 5. The synergy between Garney and Duggan is something the entire comic industry should be studying and trying to replicate. Duggan's script and Garney's art elevate each other equally and present each other in their top form. As I previously mentioned, Conan is more about action than words, and it's scenes like this that tell the reader everything they need to know about him. Conan and Sudi come upon a forest of dead bodies and are confronted by two horned men who appear to be demons. The abject fear in Sudi's face informs the reader what a normal person should feel, but Conan laughs in their faces. He then removes a foot from a body and walks up to the demons and bitch slaps them in their faces with the cadaver foot. Later in the story, while in the city of Kashada, they are trying to gather their bearings, and Sudi suggests Conan hide so he can scout. Rather than remain passive, Conan scales a building, fitting for the famous thief. Duggan takes this opportunity to frame Conan with story narration. Conan the Barbarian had been shipwrecked and shackled, but when he climbed the window, he was finally out of his element, describing Conan as he enters the city's scroll and tomb vault. This is terrific character work and emphasizes that Conan is much more comfortable in even the most dangerous settings than in a center of knowledge. He's certainly not characterized as stupid, but these are not his strong suits. Companion Sudi doesn't get much character work in the issue outside of choosing to remain with Conan after being freed and hoping for a portion of the booty. But we are introduced to Menace, the keeper of the library. Upon hearing about Conan's map, she provides valuable info on Koga Thun and the city of Kashada. She's immune to Conan's way with the ladies, but appears to be a key ally moving forward. Menace is still a bit of a wild card, but a nice addition to the team. There's also nice third-person accounts of Thun as a dangerous threat, laying solid groundwork for his entry into the story. Gerry Duggan does solid character work throughout the issue, staying true to Robert E. Howard's vision, and I rate it a 4.5 out of 5 overall. In issue 1, Conan was found near death by a pirate slaver ship, and eventually escaped, shackled to Sudi, with a rare artifact in his possession. When he opened the treasure box, a map was placed in his head. Issue 2 picks up with the pair entering the forest of desecrated bodies, encountering two servants of Koga Thun. They learn the powerful wizard is in search of the same treasure Conan's head is encoded with a map to, and they head to Kashada in search of their prize. Upon entering the city, Conan is having difficulty recognizing the landmarks on the map, and we learn that Koga Thun's followers have been destroying the city, searching for the treasure. The destruction they've laid across the city has left it virtually unrecognizable, and Conan is unable to locate the bounty. This leads him to scale the walls of the library in search of a map he can use to locate his prize. As Conan grabs the map off the shelf, he meets the aforementioned Menace, and she shoots Sudi with her crossbow. She learns the thieves have a map and explains Thun is also after the world's most powerful treasure. Thun is sacrificing innocent women and children to fuel a spell to find the treasure, and Menace believes that Conan's map is blocking it. It's then revealed the city is built on catacombs, and the now team of 3 head to the underbelly of the city in search of treasure, as Sudi suggests they split the booty 3 ways. I'm absolutely loving the direction of the story. It's everything great about Robert E. Howard's world: adventure, treasure, wizardry, and magic. Likely difficult decisions regarding saving a city or claiming his prize in the future. Duggan is absolutely in top form on this series, and I'll give the plot an overall 4.5 out of 5. Marvel has had a couple of stories the last year or so that felt like they were headed for classic status, most notably Marvel 2-in-1 and the recent Immortal Hulk story that felt like they faltered down the stretch. Now don't get me wrong, they're both great and I recommend them to anyone that hasn't read them yet, but neither series stuck the landing for me. There are only 3 issues of Savage Sword of Conan left, and it absolutely feels like it's headed for classic status. 2 amazing creators working with a character they obviously love, telling a badass story. I can't imagine many new Marvel series getting off to a better start these days, and I give this issue a 4.5 out of 5 rating overall, and give it my highest recommendation. The only people I don't think will like this are those that don't like violence or blood, or can't read fantasy genre books. My only complaint is that it's a 5-part miniseries. This should be a flagship series, moving Marvel into brighter creative days. If you haven't read issues 1 and 2 yet, what are you waiting for? Get to your LCS and support Gerry Duggan and Ron Garney, and send a message to Marvel that you're willing to back work of this quality and you prioritize storycraft and entertainment over virtue signaling and far-left propaganda. Of course, these are just my takes. What's yours? Has Savage Sword of Conan been hitting your feel spots as well? Do you think Garney's art or Duggan's writing are the hero of the series? Can you handle all this wonderful masculinity and adventure? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.